So, hi everyone who's joining us today from wherever you are. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I hope you're all doing well. And so, welcome to the Breakthrough channel, Breakthrough with Jeff. This is a place where we live life with zero limits. For those of you who didn't join us last week, my name is Mary Iro, and I am beyond thrilled to be a part of this important conversation today. We're about to go on an eye-opening, thought-provoking conversation. We're about to be friends, and we are about to go on a journey. So, Jeff, today, once again, I'm excited to be taking over your channel. Clearly, I'm now going to be a regular. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. So today we're going to talk about a topic that I believe is necessary, topic that I believe is very important, and that is the power of our thoughts. And we hope that we can be able to learn just how important our thoughts are and just how they define our life.
Now, wow, I'm excited about this.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
So, Jeff, I want to introduce this section by really giving just a little bit of a slither of my own story. So it's very interesting. I remember myself at 16 years old in high school, in boarding school. I was in Moi Girls Senior, and it's on a Sunday, and I'm sitting on the third row, and I'm writing down all the things that I'll pack when I move. United States. For some reason, at a very young age, I was very fascinated with Western countries. And there I am, writing a list, I'll pack all these things. And I think everyone who knew me back in high school would always be like, Mary was a girl who used to talk about, oh yeah, I'm going to leave the country one day, I'm going to do something different. And so it's quite interesting to see several years later, I actually ended up here, which is quite interesting because when I reflect back, I see that it started with a thought. And because of that thought and that idea, what I kept on doing is looking for ways and thinking about ways about how I can actually move here. And so that's the journey that brings me here. And it's quite interesting what my thoughts could do. So with that being said, I just wanted to start off by kind of sort of clarifying what is a thought? How would you define it in your words?
Well, so it's the way we create our world. A thought, and don't ask me, who designed it this way. This is just the way the universe works. Is the way God designed things to work. We create our destiny, our future through what we think about, and a thought is what you focus on and give a meaning. So focus on, give a meaning, you create a thought. Focus on something, give it a meaning, you create a thought. And that is creating your future. You don't just happen to be by mistake. Your tomorrows will be shaped by today's thoughts, focus, and meaning. And so we begin from a place of understanding that we are creators of our experience through our thoughts.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting that you say that focus and really giving that focus a meaning, because I feel like we think about focus, it's wherever we feel that we are connected with. And when I say that, I mean in the sense of, so say for example, in my head, probably I watched a lot of TV and I was like, oh, you know what, there actually is this Western place that I could perhaps go to. And so I focused on that and I tried to give it meaning in my life. And by that, I kind of sort of looked for ways to actually get me to where I am today.
Yes, in fact, it's more than that, because the moment you focus on something, the universe draws everything that is like that to you. And that's why, people that are a certain way get to attract people that are the same way. And you go back to your thoughts. So if you're always thinking negative and negative, you're always driven by negative energy, then you end up drawing people that are sort of negative, just like you. When you focus on something like the dream, what you did, focus on a dream, it tends to attract anything that is aligned to that dream to you.
Yeah. But then I'm curious, what shapes our thoughts, right? Because you said, it's based on focus and meaning. What shaped my perspective that, this is what I want to focus on? And I think if we can understand the background of what shapes our thoughts, then we
Yes,
can be able to be very aware on what we
exactly.
are focusing and what we are, where we are putting meaning. So from your perspective, what do you think are some of those things that actually shape our thoughts from a very early age?
Well, a thought was coming. Talking about
Yes.
thought, a thought was coming as you are talking about, what shapes our life, our destiny, our meaning, and all that. You focus on something and you align your life with the thoughts of that thing, whatever it is that you're focusing on. Okay, you go through an experience. Let me do this. Let me give you an example. Okay, so you go through an experience. Let's say it's an accident. It's a bad, example. It's an accident. You can focus on the fact that God left you at that moment and you are alone. That focus will create an experience of pain for you.
Yeah.
You can focus on the fact that God saved you, which means He loves you. And
Yes.
that will give you a different experience.
Yeah.
Question is, who is in control of what? Are you in control of the experiences? No. You're in control of your focus.
Yes. On what you focus on.
Yes, what you focus on. You can decide at any moment to change your focus. You are not a victim of the force of nature. You are not. You are, you can decide to change your focus and change your life. And you do that by changing our focus, by changing how we are thinking, the process of our thoughts.
Yeah, but I do feel like when we think about our upbringing, when we think about what we see from our parents, what we see in our environments, what we see around us when we go to school and we go to work, and somehow those things they start to shape our thoughts. They start to shape our view of the world. And so I think that though we may sometimes fix our focus on the wrong, I would say that there is some external influence that shapes our thoughts as we are growing up to our present age. And the main thing, however, is to understand how to create your own thoughts that are not based on these external factors.
Yeah, perfectly put.
Perfectly put. Okay, so this is an interesting one as well. Let's talk about our emotions. I think one of the things I've noticed is when we think about something, whether it's happening or not, all of a sudden it is reflected in our emotions. So it's correct, it's an experience. So how do our thoughts shape our mindset and shape our emotions of our day to day? And I don't know if you can expound on that just a little bit more so that we can get clarity on why it is important to also control our thoughts, because how we feel every single day is directly impacted by what we are thinking.
Yeah. So you see, your feelings are like messengers. It's a message. They're telling you this is what you're thinking.
Yeah.
So the feeling is a messenger telling you this is how you're thinking and this is what you're thinking. So if you feel constricted, do you feel constricted or expanded? That tells you, that is a signal. Instead of judging yourself and going, oh my God, this is who I am. No, you tell yourself, what am I thinking about that gives me this feeling? Because emotion is a message. Don't kill the messenger.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's interesting.
Emotion is a messenger. It's telling you how your world is. This is what you're focusing on. This is what you're thinking about. And so if you're in a week, most of the emotions you feel, the emotions of pain, the emotions of or emotions of joy. It's a message. It's telling you, it's a messenger telling you this is what you're focusing on most of the time.
And so it's more.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry for interrupting. Sorry, go ahead.
You are in charge. Even when you study spiritual books like the Bible, it doesn't take the responsibility over your thoughts and mindset. It doesn't give it to God. It's your responsibility. In fact, God can wait for you to change your thoughts, for the blessings that are aligned to your thoughts to flow.
That is so interesting. And you know, I connect with it because now that I reflect back, even the times when perhaps I felt a little sad and I reflect on it, I can see how perhaps it's because I had this sad thought. Some of them have not even materialized, you know, but because you're actualizing them in your mind, then it actually almost becomes it becomes present in your emotions and how you're feeling.
Yeah. So just to bring a sort of like a summary on this, we are creators of our experiences. We are creating them through our thoughts, and our emotions are messages telling us this is what you're creating. So don't go look for a prophet. This is who you're becoming. This is what you're creating. Your emotions are telling you this is the destiny you're creating. So okay, so what does that mean? Make sure you focus on things that, you know, are good, they're pure, they make you happy, they bring a sense of joy. Make sure you take your focus there.
But how do you do that? How do you do that? And I say, when I say how do you do that is...
Sorry?
No, I was going to say, how do you do that? Because I feel like this is what happens. Everyone has this perspective. Focus on what is happy, what is pure, what is just, but they're not telling you when your mind is going all the way on an opposite direction. This is how you bring yourself back to focusing on those things. And I think that's the conversation around how do you stop this vicious cycle of negative thinking, and how do you start focusing on those happy thoughts, especially if you're just used to negative thinking and you're deep in there and you want to start to change your life by changing your thoughts?
Good question. So every moment, including this one right here, you have a choice. So, because I don't come from the school of thought that life is just happening to you, you have no control. No, that's not true. You have control, and you have to believe that you can choose a different option than the one that gives you pain. And when you get to the place where you believe that, okay, I have a choice, because if you don't believe you have a choice, no one can help you. Even when the options, even when the options are there, Mary, no one can help you because you can't see them.
Yeah, that's true. So it actually starts by you seeing that the choice exists.
The choice exists and believing that choice exists. But when you tell yourself the story that I don't have choice, I've never had choice, and you can actually be sitting in front of choices that you don't see. And this is what I see, you know, with blind people. Blind people, we sometimes, you know, we can be blind in our relationships. The choices are right there, but you can't see. Why? The power of focus. The choice of opportunities for your job, for your career. The choice of freedom, for joy, for peace. They're there. There's never a moment where you don't have a choice. But then when you tell your story, I don't have a choice, I don't have a choice, I don't have a choice, then you believe it.
Yeah.
And you begin to live as though you have limits, as though you are in prison.
Yeah.
Now in this channel, we talk about zero limits, because I totally believe that any human being, no matter where they were born, to whom they were born, who was their brother, cousin, whoever, you can rise and create whatever life you desire by changing how you think, by changing what you feel, and you are totally responsible for how you feel and what you think on a daily basis.
I think one of the ways that I try to center myself back, especially in scenarios when I find that my thoughts are just flying away and going off the board, is for one, actually try to ask myself, what am I thinking? Like, Mary, what are you thinking? And I'm like, wait, you are thinking of this way. But I've also used the art of meditation as well, just being still, just being like, okay, stop right now, like stop, what is going on? I've also used the art of journaling. And so those are some of the ways that I think have helped me to be able to process my thoughts. And I know those are just a few of them. I don't know if there's any other that you could suggest out there for people who are really trying to take command and take control of their thoughts, besides meditation and perhaps journaling.
What I do mostly is actually disempowering these negative thoughts in a way, because most of the time when sometimes you focus on it so much, you empower it, you give it force, you give it power. But sometimes you want to float back and observe your life. Just look at your life from a distance.
So you kind of sort of put yourself outside, and now you're assuming you're looking yourself on the inside.
Yes, exactly. So you can actually see your life. I know there is it in Nigeria they say see your life.
Yeah. See your life.
Look at your life. See your life. See your life now. It's good to look at your life and see, okay, these are the choices I'm making right now. These are the choices. I'm making the choice to be sad. I'm making the choice to be happy. I'm making the choice to be... These are choices I'm making now. And then that helps you to move away from blaming anyone for your experiences. And allow me to say this, Mary. Anything you're going through right now that you think someone else has caused you to go through it, including the devil, including forces of darkness, I tell you, it's force. It's you are responsible for the experiences you're going through right now. Yeah, sorry, come again.
I said niwewe too.
Niwewe too, niwewe. And if you don't change, no one will change you. Yeah, you have to get tired of seeing, the same results. And then you're like, okay, I must change something. Yeah. And the first place, like what we are discussing today, is look at your thoughts.
Yeah.
The quality of your thoughts is the quality of your life. It's the quality of your life.
Say that again. The quality of your thoughts is the quality
of your life.
Ooh, yes. That is good. That is good. That is good because if you're thinking quality thoughts, then we would expect that your life aligns with that. And most of the time, the thoughts of defeat, the thoughts of hopelessness are now what take over your life, and you keep on feeling stagnated and your life feels hopeless because that's the quality of the thought that you're putting through your mind.
Yeah. And thoughts are powerful. Thoughts equals destiny, because sometimes we can have a strong thought, sometimes we can have a weak thought. See, thoughts also have quality and they have level. Like thoughts of you're thinking of yourself as less than, that's a weak thought. Yeah. A thought that I won't make it. You've not even tried, you've not done it, but you're thinking I will not make it. That's a weak thought. So you want to eliminate as many of the weak thoughts as possible and move towards the strong thoughts of feeling, the strong thoughts of love, that you are loved, that you are enough. Think thoughts of strength and power. Yes. And then you begin to feel it in your body, begin to experience it in your body. See, the body, look, I talked about emotions. Emotions are messengers, but also your body can tell you. Okay, let's think the thought, you think the thought depression. It's a thought, it's depression. Physiology goes depressed. Yeah. You begin to act in a slow way. Things are just moving slowly. Then now you define yourself as a depressed person. Yeah. Okay, think the thoughts are power, love, joy. The body tells you what you're thinking of.
That is so true.
Your physiology begins to brighten up.
I think the one thing that I found myself thinking one time is I was thinking through, okay, you know, where am I going to be next year? What do I want to do? And I found myself, actually, I had to catch myself. I found myself telling myself, yeah, well, you know, we don't know. You'll see. Let's just keep on doing what we are doing. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, I had to control myself because I realized that where I will be then in a year from now depends on the thoughts that I have right now, because they're shaping my life. And if I just feel like I'll just flow and all life is just happening to me and not from me, that's what I'm going to do. And so I think one of the things I really wanted to touch on today was when we think about, and I think it's in the book of Proverbs, and it talks about be careful how you think. Your life is shaped by your thoughts. How can we use our thoughts to create an abundant life? How can we, now that we know we are in control of our thoughts, how do we take these thoughts and actually shift our mindset and create for ourselves an abundant life?
So like we said in the beginning, it begins with you believing that you are in control of your experiences and no one else. So people should stop blaming anyone. No blame game, no blaming. It begins there. And then now focus on abundance. It's as easy as that. I don't know why people say it's
make
hard.
It so complicated.
You need to know. Let me tell you, Mary, even the idea that you tell yourself, I need to know more. I need to know more. Please tell me more. How do I practically? Is just convincing yourself that there's something missing that you need to know. It's as simple as that. Focus on abundance. Like right now, you can focus. How does abundance look like? What is the picture of abundance look like for you? And you take your mind there. Feel abundant. Is
so
there
even visualizing.
Visualize. So see it, visualize, feel it. When you see a picture, you see the mind sees in pictures. The mind, when immediately your mind sees a picture, it feels something, isn't it?
Yes.
Like if I tell you, okay, I don't know what you maybe you fear things like what, snakes.
Snakes. That one's number one. No, not elephants.
Lions.
Snakes.
Yes. So if I tell you, okay, close your eyes, and I tell you, okay, listen, don't move because there's a snake just on your shoulder.
Whew.
So what has happened there? The brain has created a picture.
Yes.
Immediately you feel it.
Yes.
What happens? It's real, whether the snake is there or not. And I want to take this slowly so that people can get it. Immediately you feel it, you experience something emotionally. It's real whether it's there or not.
Ooh.
And that's why someone that you tell them there's a snake, please don't move. It's real whether it's there or not.
Wow.
Now listen, if someone tells you you're poor, and you feel it emotionally in your gut,
it's real.
It will be real for you whether it's true or not. Whether it's true or not is not what we are talking about here. Because people are living false lives. The life we are living today is not the real ideal life. It's a false life because it's an imagined life. It's not the best version of ourselves. And we can change it at any moment. You can change the picture. The picture before you. It should be one that brings you joy, peace, and love. And then now you tell someone, okay, imagine peace. Bring a picture of peace, abundance. Bring a picture of abundance. What do you see? You see green, money everywhere, growing on trees. That's all I see. Money. Everything is money. See, look, you just see money. Feel it. So now that becomes your destiny. And there is no one, no matter where you were born, your experience, your past, anyone can create that picture. What's your picture?
But then don't you agree?
Yeah.
But don't you agree? And I think that this is where people struggle the most. It's not that people don't want to think this abundant thoughts. It's because their reality speaks something completely different. And where
Yes.
they are versus where they want to be seems
Yeah.
so polar opposite and so unattainable that their mind cannot focus and think that that is possible. And I think that that's, to be honest, I feel like everyone in this world wants, I mean, I would be surprised if not. People want joy. People want feelings of peace and happiness. I think it's just that their realities are so far from where they want to be, and then that causes a disconnect. So they're not able to focus on that thought. And so,
let me tell you where we get it wrong. Is when you confuse your reality with the reality.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that is sweet. When you confuse your reality with their reality.
Yes. Because that's what people say, oh, this is my reality. I mean, from when did you make that decision? That is your reality. You bought into that story. It's your reality now. It doesn't have to be your reality always. It's not their reality.
That's where we get it wrong. It's because, most of the times you're like, this is their reality. Let's be real. This is the reality. It's not going to change. And we feel like that's what's going to be eternally, instead of us looking at it as it may be for this moment, but it is not their reality.
It's not. It's not. It's not the reality. And that story, we tell ourselves that this is the reality. We lock ourselves in a limited space. In a space of limitations, and say, okay, this is it. I'll always be here. You always be there if you want to be there, but you don't have to. You don't have to die there. You don't have to live in that reality. Divorce your reality, create a different one.
Yeah, and remember that it is that your present reality is not their reality.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect. I don't know if we have any questions, Jeff, but I really wanted to recap some of those very key points that we've spoken about. And I think one is we create our reality, and that, and I think that's just the one we've spoken about right now, is that we create our reality. Our role is to really try and focus on happy feelings and joyful thoughts, and that will be able to align with our inner being. And that we have to remember that our life is based on the quality of the thoughts that we have, and that the quality of our life is directly tied to that. And one good way of looking at where your life is also by reflecting what are the quality of the thoughts that you have, and really realizing that our life is shaped by our thoughts, and that we must control them, and we must look for ways and strive to constantly center ourselves to ensure that our thoughts lead us to the right place.
Yes. Our thoughts are abundant.
Our thoughts are abundant
we want to have.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. And if you're surrounded by people that are thinking differently, let me tell you, we are the average of the people we spend most of the time with. And how do you know the quality of the people you spend time with is their thoughts, what they think about most of the time. All the time their stories are around, things that don't align with your destiny. It's time to get a new group of people, and there should not be shame in that. Move on. Find a new group.
And I think we always forget about the people we surround ourselves with, but I think that definitely controls our thoughts, because they are able to also influence us if we have the right friends who have the same mindset and the same thinking around us.
That's true.
Okay, Jeff, awesome. I don't know if we have any other questions or anything else that you want to summarize for us, but I feel like this has been a great discussion.
Yeah, maybe just a parting shot, really. So as you live this life, as you enjoy this life, from your relationships, your finances, your career, whatever it is that you're focusing on right now, I want you to know the power is in your hands. It's not somewhere, it's not in a story in your past, it's in your hands. And from that moment you decide that this is the direction I want to take my life, you begin to repossess your power and take back your power. And you decide, okay, these are my thoughts, These are my emotions. This is my emotional home. This is where I want to live most of the time. I want to live in an emotional home called joy, peace, and love. If you don't make that decision, the world will make that decision for you. Someone else will decide that for you. You decide when you're happy and when you're sad. They know where to touch the baton, and you become a victim of circumstances. I want to tell you, all of us can rise. All of us can live a life of zero limits if we decide to do so. So I wish you all the best. Thank you, Mary, for facilitating this show. I'm always looking forward to this, so we can empower, even if it's one person,
yes,
to live
absolutely.
a life of zero limits.
Zero, absolutely zero limits. Well, thank you, Jeff, for having me, and thank you for this powerful conversation. And we've learned a lot today. You have yourself a great day, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.